gears towards the pre-filled fields in the form. So let's pick one of these pre-filled URLs to see the anatomy feed. So we have here one of these URLs, and you see that here we are already submitting the name of the course that the users have attended and have to respond. So when I copy this link, then this is already pre-filled for me. Now, how do we configure this? Basically, we go to the form here. There is in the options again, and it's pretty new, this option to get pre-filled URL. If we do that, first you will need to, of course, enable pre-filled answers. First time you do it, just toggle this, and then you will be presented with the form. So what you need to do is answer only the questions that you want to get the pre-filled information for. In this case here, for example, let's put it here, test, and let's imagine that we also want the dissatisfied one, for example. Well, this option, this question, yeah. So if we do that and get the pre-filled link over here, we will get a link that we can copy paste in a text editor, and let's see the anatomy of it. So we put here the parameters. Where is the ampersand? Let's search for ampersands here. Yeah, here. Boom. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so you can see any URL for any web application. You got this is the web application. This is the ID of the form as a parameter, and then we have this would be the identifier of the first question, and what we just put here, test, and then for the second question, this is its identifier, and then the answer. So you can see here in the anatomy, this is what we put. So test, and it has the parameter is this one over here. So when we do that, let's see it from the SharePoint list again. We have here the name of the parameter that identifies that particular question, and then we dynamically, with a put-out float, fill this information with the title of the course, and then underscore the SharePoint ID of this particular record. This one over here, the ID. Why? Because then we want to save the responses in this particular SharePoint list item. Now, here we have serious issues with the way this works. It's a great functionality, but we have deficiencies where first we cannot hide fields, and this is what I had to do. This I don't like this is this is not a good solution to put here underscore and the SharePoint ID. I did try to, and there were some posts over the internet where people, what they do is with branching, hide some fields, but then it wasn't appearing. I was putting the parameter in the URL properly, and then the answer wasn't appearing when you get it with Power Automate, or even in the Excel that the forms fill. So that's not an option. And this is a very nasty solution when you need to save some data that needs to be hidden for the user. For other stuff like the course name, okay, great, but the SharePoint ID or any other internal stuff that you want to maintain and keep hidden from the user, you cannot hide it. And well, if you could at least lock the field, because let's imagine that with this information, okay, the user is going to see it, but if they could at least not edit, so this was locked, great. But for example, if I change here to a 13, this actually corresponds to this particular record in the SharePoint list. So I would be, if I knew what I was doing, I could be changing this, submit the information, and then this is going to submit it for a different, when it finishes, yeah, for this particular response instead of number 12, which was the actual link that I clicked. Now let's